from the 718, JD Sports.
Welcome to the first JD Sports podcast, the New York City edition. We have a crew that is unmatched when it comes to New York City. Fabolous, Jim Jones, Mero. Thank you guys so much for being here for the first episode. Jim, this is the first episode of this podcast. You were the first guest on Sneaker Shopping. I feel like it's ceremonious that you guys are here. But it's such a New York-centric group. And I want to ask, what do you think New York does better than any other city when it comes to sneaker culture?
Everything.
Set trends, man.
We are the sneaker culture.
Yeah.
All the sneaker culture started here.
I feel like sneaker culture really started from New York. I can't remember any other place. Even from like if you go all the way back to like Run DMC with Adidas, it just like everything I could remember started from here. You know what I'm saying?
I just remember coming up and like it was everything. It was sneakers, it was fashion. Like I'm a graffiti kid, you know what I'm saying? So like I was doing the North Face shit early, like steep tech suits and all that, like Vask boots, all Dolomite boots, all of that shit that when you mentioned.
I used to love Dolomite boots.
You know what I'm saying? That's some shit when you mention it outside of New York City, people's like, what's that? What are you talking about? And it's like, nah, I don't understand.
Dolomite, a few of them that was
like them shits was here.
And then it's funny because like we think of sneaker culture, how it looks now, but like to your point, Fab, back in the day, like Puma suedes and breakdancing, like that really started in this city.
Right. Definitely. I remember Puma suedes and like the B-boy look, you know what I mean? That was all about what sneaker you was wearing. And it pretty much kind of, to me, was Puma Adidas. It was kind of a little bit before Nike like came in. It was had a strong
suit.
Yeah.
Before Jordans, my uncles put me on game. He's just like, he's like, man, you don't know Clyde had the Clyde Pumas.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like before Mike even stepped on the court. Yeah, the Clyde Pumas. I was like, oh shit, okay.
And Clyde played in New York too, so you know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
That.
We have Bronx, Harlem, Brooklyn. What do we think is like the slight differences between some sneaker culture in these three boroughs though?
Listen, everybody's gonna come out and be like, yo, the Bronx is the dirtiest borough, this, that, wow. Fuck out of here.
Okay.
We very
I don't think there's no
utilitarian.
difference between the sneaker culture in our boroughs.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that. Everybody rocks Nikes. Everybody rocks construction Timbs. Maybe we might style them slightly a little bit different, but the uniform is all the same, I would say.
I think it's different. I think the Bronx and Harlem, sometimes they have like a uniform. Like they'll wear like Forces or Timbs and like the whole area. With Brooklyn, I felt like it was all over the place. I felt like Brooklyn wore Nikes, Filas, you know what I mean? Like every sneaker, like you could just see anything in Brooklyn. It wasn't just uniform to Brooklyn. When I used to go to Harlem, they had a look that kind of like went, or if I go to the Bronx, I would see even like the boots and the leathers, and like it was just more like the whole area had a style, where Brooklyn was just kind of like, we had certain things that we wore, but it was so much of it. It was so all over the place.
Kind of like mixing and matching and not taking. Do you think that that's fair to say for you guys who?
I think Brooklyn, just because it's larger, you know what I'm saying? So there's more, like, I can see that happening, like neighborhood to neighborhood, you know what I'm saying? Like every kind of like where you go.
Brooklyn doesn't have a style, but I would still say that the aesthetic is still the same. Still boils down to construction Timbs and Air Force Ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
On that stuff.
Besides everything else, like.
And certain people, you know what I mean? Certain people is going, but when I look at the borough as a whole, I used to feel like Harlem had a certain style. They wore even like with Avorexes and Pele, like that was their jackets to wear, and you know what I'm saying? Whereas Brooklyn, we had that, but everybody wasn't wearing that. Everybody had different jackets. It was North Faces, it was Pele's, it was Avorexes, it was, you know what I mean? It just was more.
It was low line.
All over the place, yeah. Polo, it was all different styles of shit you could wear. Where I felt like there still was guys in Harlem who wore different stuff too, but if you looked at like you could go on a block and see like 6 guys with those puffy gooses. What's the name of those gooses with the biggies in different colors? Yeah, the biggies, and wearing them in different colors, and that was, you know what I mean, the coat that you had to have up there. You know what I'm saying?
BB Simon.
Yeah, the belts.
You
You know what I'm saying?
And we'll talk about how like everything has come back, but I want to specifically talk about 2002 with you guys, a moment which I'm sure you get asked a lot, but like the real story behind the French Blue Sevens and the Trade It All Part 2. That I feel like is like a defining moment, you with the throwback Kobe and the French Blue Jordan 7s. And then Jim, like you, 2002 and like the Clippers kind of like throwback with the Air Force 2s. This was like the same year.
I was a half and half too. It's a home on the back and away on the front.
Really?
We had cut them in half. Look at it.
Yeah, so you can't really tell in this. Okay, so the back was different than the
Back was the home. The back was the home jersey, and the front was the away jersey. We had just cut them and made two jerseys out of it.
So were you like you just would buy it at a store, or you kind of like were putting them together?
We bought all our jerseys, most of our jerseys from like 145th Street and Broadway, and then we would take them to the cleaners and tell them, yo, cut these jerseys in half and make them half and half.
Is it crazy to you guys that this was the same year? And take us back to that year, like this style, and in 2002, what it was like for like video shoots and things like that. It wasn't like social media where you got to see people every day. It was magazines and video shoots, but like take it back to those two moments, like Fab, the French Blue Sevens. Do you remember even like that day getting them and knew that you were to like?
I just was a big Jordan sneaker fan at the time. So my whole thing was always matching a Jordan to your jersey type of look. You know what I'm saying? So really it wasn't that hard to me. I was just looking for something to play off each other, to kind of, you know what I'm saying, match it up. And I wore the Kobe jersey and I wore the 7s. And what was crazy is Kobe actually came to the shoot that day too. So I felt like I picked the right.
I was fired.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
He didn't get in the video though. He curved Clue. Clue tried to they tried to tell me to ask him. I'm like, I'm not asking him. Like, you know what I mean? So Clue was like, I'll go ask him. Clue went and asked him. He curved Clue. Was like, nah, I just came to show some love and support. And that was just, you know, that was dope on
That's fire.
on that
Kobe
side,
pulled
too.
up to the video.
That's crazy.
That's super fire.
Do you look back at that as like an iconic fit?
At the time, I didn't think it was iconic. I
Yeah.
thought it was just, you know, jersey with the Jordans. Like it was, you know what I mean? It was kind of like my uniform at the time, basically. But because the timing and I think the way jerseys hit in that time, I think, you know, of course, the song, where I was in my career at that time, it was just, you know, I think all those things kind of combined and made the look, you know, solid. But at the time, I didn't think, even down to the bandana thing, I just kind of like was trying to just be matchy again. And it, you know what I mean? People like.
And was it because the French Blue 7s were early? I think that was a big sticking point. Did you get them early? Were you getting a lot of shoes early, like running around the city?
I was getting shoes early, but at that time, there used to be like sneaker stores who sold them early and you paid a little extra
Yes.
more for them. And, you know, it'd be like these like hood little like shops that used to do that at that time. Some you would get them and they can't give you the box or some crazy shit, give you in a black
I'm
plastic
scan these
bag.
different ones, yeah.
It was like, I was still like very hood. I don't even know if they was like seeding people with Jordans back then like that. I think you had to really just get them on a muscle kind of like you. I don't remember like Jordan brand in
Harlem still had these
2002.
little sneaker stores that had all the joints you couldn't find. And shit like that.
Yeah, that's where we was like really getting shoes from at that time. I don't think it was nobody wasn't giving nobody nothing
It
in
wasn't gifted
02.
nothing. Yeah, nah. Remember, that's when Homeboy used to be coming to Def Jam with the Bathing Ape sneakers. Remember? They
Yup.
used to come with the Bathing Ape sneakers in a big bag.
Even Hove, like, and at the top, at the thing, Hove still had to buy boxes of Air Force Ones. They would go and buy the whole,
Tom,
you know what I
Dick, and
mean?
Harry's
So like,
probably, yeah.
they wasn't even getting them shipped to
That's
them
what
yet.
we
Like,
thought Bapes was Air Force Ones with the stars on them.
Yeah.
We didn't even know the name of them. She's like, no, the Airs with the stars on them. Them shit's
early.
fire.
Air Star ones.
The thing that I remember about getting shoes early, even when I was like working at King's Plaza, like you would get shoes early, but it wasn't like you had to buy them for $500 more. It was way cheaper. It was like 50 to 100.
yeah, you put a little tax on it.
Yes.
That's
It was a little tax. But even that tax at that time was still like something. You had to have that extra 50 or something. If they was $150 and they wanted 200, like you had to have that 200. So, you know, that was the beginning of the resellers right there early.
How'd you guys feel being from New York and where it started and stuff? How'd you guys feel when Nelly's Air Force One song came out and it went like super mainstream where like parents were like, oh, what are these shoes, these Air Force Ones that I hear on MTV?
That was dope.
Yeah,
I
I thought it was cool, and I felt like he spoke from the Midwest. Even though like New York, we was kind of already on Air Force Ones, and it wasn't like brand new to us. But I felt like other places they weren't on Air Force One like that. So that's one of the reasons why it became a hit, because he was introducing, and low key, Nelly had some New York connection here.
100%.
So I
Who the
think
Love,
he even
Trail,
from
RP Trail.
he used to be around Mace's manager, Who the Love.
It was
Okay.
Trail something.
Yeah. So he was up here. He even had this conversation with me. He said he got a lot of like just how style from like Harlem and being around how they talk shit, and you know what I mean? He caught a lot of that and probably took that back home, you know what I'm saying? And he probably already had his own like, St. Louis swag, but just coming to New York gave him another, layer to his shit too.
I think like it's a point of pride for like New York fashion, New York trendsetters, that he took it and like, if you know, right? Like it started here, that he took it and took it out into the mainstream,
Totally. Yeah, I just remember that going super mainstream, and it was like, this is
Because I'll be honest, I don't call them forces, bro. I call them uptowns.
How many do you think you were going through? Like, I would say let's say a month back in the day, or still, like, is it still one
I'm
wear?
gonna keep it funky. Back in the day, it felt like you could wear the ears a little bit more than once.
Really?
You're gonna definitely get 2-3 pair wears out of them.
As it progressed, then it was like,
Yo, I gotta get a crispy pair.
I got
Okay.
a brand new pair.
You had to keep your Air Force Ones crispy at all times, no matter what. Even if you wore them 2 or 3 times, you still was hitting them with the toothbrush or a rag to make sure them things looked crispy.
And you only get one crisp look for like a go out. If you wearing to run to the gas station or
That's
like that,
something
that's
separate,
cool.
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? But
That
like
one
trying to
time,
wear it
yeah.
for a fit, is that one
Get the cracker
clean,
box
brand
one
new.
time. Yeah, that's it.
And did you see, like, it was not only a thing, people were thinking it was cool to wear them cooked. Like, it was like 2 years ago.
That's out of our culture though. That's not.
I was making the joke. I was like, that's Rhode Island School of Design, freshman class. You know what I mean? If you go to Pratt, you got cook forces. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not us.
Yeah.
If you live on a number street,
Low-key.
you're not wearing cook forces.
It's the other side too. Low key is the other side. You know what I mean? I'm glad you get it. You
That's
get it.
the
It's
rage.
other-
That's the rage side.
If you see a motherfucker in cook black forces,
Oh,
watch
got
out.
it.
Oh, nah, there's a problem.
There's a problem there.
Black forces really get cooked though. They don't really get cooked like that. That's why people started getting black forces, because the white forces they got the one where, history. So black forces you really could.
But black
If
used
your
to
money
be the
tight, you get the black forces.
flyer sneaker back in the day because
Yeah,
the
it
black
was-
one
it was
didn't
tough.
come out. So when the black ones came out, niggas was flying at 3rd Avenue. Yo, the black forces just dropped. The black forces just
I
dropped. When we
also
was in high
believe it
school.
was budget.
more rare.
I think it was budget friendly too.
I got the black-
because if you ain't at that time too, you didn't have it to just cop forces every week, you know what I mean? So the black forces hold you down for, you know what I mean? Like you get the black forces,
Nah, the
you
black
wipe
forces
them
had a
down, they
good look.
still look, you know what I mean? I feel like the black forces was you know what I mean? Then it turned into a different type of energy, like.
That's recently though. The
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
They turned
yeah.
black forces
Yeah, they
against
turned
us
black
recently.
forces
Before they used to be our
evil.
friend.
Yeah.
they turned.
Black
force
Kermit.
energy.
Dark
They
Kermit,
used to be
like,
our
you know what I mean?
friend though. Like damn.
You're telling me you didn't have any black Air Force One energy?
I'm telling you that black. I
It
just
never
told you,
was that,
black
though.
Air Force
Yeah,
Ones
it
used
was
to
a
be
cool- it was
better
a
than
cool-
white Air Force
they
Ones
made it
coming
like
up in
a
high
dark
school.
thing. Like,
That's what we wanted. The black ones before the white
black
ones in high
catted
school.
the forces, bro.
they
Like,
memed
they
them
made
now.
the black cat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
made
They
it
switched
bad
it on
luck-
us.
bad luck
It was
forces.
a great thing when we was younger. Now it's shunned. Like you better not have. It's about to be a shootout in here. Somebody
Yeah.
walk you with the
They think you
flag.
on something. Like they like you about to
Word.
do something if you got black forces.
Yeah, they gave black forces a stigma. That's crazy.
That's what it is. They stigmatize them. If you got black forces in a shiesty, bro, you on the list.
Or you might get locked up right now.
Yo, I stopped thinking like black cats was bad luck. You remember that
Yo, bro,
black cats is
the
bad luck? I
black
started, I'm
cat
like, yo,
is
who
bad
made
luck
this
is-
up? Like who put it on the black cat that's bad
Just
luck?
gave it to him. Like, yo, don't let them walk past
That's
you.
what they did to the forces.
Yeah.
And now you looking like, yo, shit,
They
don't, yo,
black
bro.
catted the black forces.
Bad luck.
I know you have your clothing line now, Dead Lonely.
It's not my clothing line,
Okay.
but it's a clothing line I'm fully vested in. I love the brand.
Okay.
He's a young designer from the Bronx. He makes some dope clothing. So I've been, you know what I mean? Like anything else I do, if I like a brand, the same thing I do for other brands is now what I'm doing for him. And I feel good about helping new designers come up and, you know what I mean? That's kind of been our thing and shit like that. Like Spiz, like he always putting on for new designs. If they got some drip, they got some drip. What the hell can we do about it? Look fly, look fly.
Totally. We talked about like the influence of the French Blue Sevens and the Kobe jersey, but I know that the Chrome Hearts thing, you get asked, but 2006, so early on Chrome Hearts, what was that brand like back then? And as it relates to like, how did it come into like your orbit?
Chrome Heart came in my orbit for my lady, Chrissy. I used to lose my wallet a lot. My friend Snags ended up buying me a Harley Davidson wallet chain. Like, yo, use this wallet because we're not going to be looking all over the city for the wallet. Then it ended up me and Chrissy going down there. So I had a little rock and roll, still rough around the edges, but I always like to wear motorcycle jackets since high school. I meet Chrissy, she sees this chain. She like, oh, you think you're a rock star? You don't know about no Chrome Heart. Let me put you onto some shit. The real rock stars be doing. She ended up buying me my first piece of Chrome Heart and shit like that. And then after that, a couple years later, I ended up doing balling. I started putting the Chrome Heart on, and that was that. So I am not responsible for it. It's my lady, by all means, responsible for putting me in Chrome Heart. But the rock and roll shit I always adored. I used to wear motorcycle jackets in high school. Before.
Vests.
You know what I mean?
I remember complex cover vests like this. And so it's crazy. Was that a function of you losing your wallet, the chain?
100% that everything came about to Chrome Heart.
Amazing.
So yeah, that's crazy. If there would have been air tags back then, we might not have this whole situation.
100% might not be. It might not be needed for a Chrome Heart. We might have not known what Chrome Heart was in the hip hop industry.
I want to bring up something relating to music that I know you guys are semi-connected to. We've been talking about hip hop influence back in the day, but your son and you are closely connected to Youngboy. Your son went to the concert. You're close with Youngboy. I saw even your mom took a pic with him. What can you say about his influence in 2025? And like he just did the tour out here and how it's a different looking influence than you guys were back in the day, but the influence that he holds now.
I ain't gonna front. He got some Jesus-like influence right now.
Bro,
I'm gonna leave it alone, but I don't want to say it like that. But the influence he has, I haven't seen too many people have the kids mesmerized and hypnotized the way that he has this generation. Like.
And what was it like, your son going to the concert? Like, was it just like a thing like...
His son was with me at the concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, my son is a fan of the music, a fan of him. So he asked could he go to the concert, and like he don't ask to go to a lot of different functions or hip hop. You know what I mean? So when he does ask, I know that's somebody that he's really a fan of or appreciates, and you know what I mean? So when he went and he was able to meet him too, I guess, just in the...
He was hype. He was back there in the back room going, he was like...
That's how much of a privileged kid he is. I tell him every day, like, you know what I mean? Like you get a lot of things off of your breath.
Yeah. Mine the same shit. Like, yo, you getting a lot of shit, motherfucker.
That's my flex on him, like, you know what I mean? To him, I'm just dad, but I like, you know what I mean?
Cool shit.
I'm the one who was able to put you in that place. But it's great. It's as a dad, it's also feels good to be able to, have that privilege and give it to my son and make his dreams or goals or things he want to do come true. So it was a good thing. He was happy. He sent me the picture like, yo, I got to take a pic with Youngboy. I was like, yo, that was dope. You know what I'm saying?
He really do got the youth in the chokehold right now, bro. He got like Tupac aura, bro.
Because I think he knows that he has that connection, and by even with him doing the shows, he does connect with people, kids, and take pictures with them.
That nigga's like, so what I seen him do the other day, I was like, yeah, he on a whole nother level. When he got out and walked through New Orleans, like I'm home type shit, like that was some real Bible-esque type of shit. Like people don't understand the mentality of what he did, hopping out and walking by himself in the middle of his own home, where they never would think he would. Man, they had to escort that man to the show. I got a real relationship with him. I've been on Gravedigger Mountain. He done flew just to get me to go to that shit. Like, so it was like just sitting there talking to him from when he was in a space of not knowing what his fate was going to be because he had cases. This is before Trump pardoned him. This is before when he was really going through it. To see now The things that he was talking about, like if I get out, I'm one tour, I'm Achilles, like this. It was just, but to also know that he sat in the house and made upwards of 100 million without even moving. Like that should have been, gave us a warning that if he ever gets to get in this capacity, it's gonna be danger.
And that's what's happening now. And I remember talking to you, I interviewed him at Gravedigger Mountain, was definitely an experience. And I remember it was like, honestly, the first time that I found out that you had a connection with him. So, and then I see last week the mom being like, oh, my other son with him. So like, how does
I know him through my moms.
how did that happen?
My moms and his moms was cool.
Okay.
And my moms came home, she telling me about some kid from the NBA. I think she talking about that basketball player, fashion. You know, I was with this NBA player, kid.
Yeah.
You know, me and his moms is real cool. The NBA dude, I'm like, what team he play for? She like, he young NBA. She kept getting fucking it up. I'm like, all right,
okay.
And then I was like, you mean NBA young boy? My son was like, Ma, grandma, you bugging if you was no NBA. My son went crazy. Like, no way, grandma.
Yeah.
And then that's how my mom's made a connection from him and his mother being cool.
Bro, I'll tell you this much. When he was at Prudential Center, I'm looking around and there's kids crying. There's a white kid in a shiesty, didn't take the shit off the whole show, rapping every word, cry. Yo, it's it's like Michael Jackson type shit.
You know what I did?
Going crazy.
I observed from like the whole thing that's going on with him. We're also in a time where, you know, social currency is very high. You want to be seen, but I think weirdly, the way he's not all over everything.
Good point.
And it makes people kind of gravitate to him and come where he's at.
Shit.
Yes.
Like,
To get, you know what I mean? Like he's not on the radio all day, but he's on YouTube for people to go to YouTube and what's the name, or they can go to the streaming services and what's the name. But he's not, you know what I mean? Like a lot of artists want to be everywhere and be seen everywhere when it looked like for him, because of his situation, you know, he was kind of isolated and it made people just go to him.
Mystique.
So it was like, it
That's what I
was
feel
a
like
different draw to me than what everybody is so tricked on. Like, I gotta be everywhere and be seen all the time.
Yes.
When he showed that you don't have to have a big radio hit. You don't have to be at every summer jam or festival, or, you know what I mean? Like, you think of that as a whole, like, and he still captivated and curated his base, and people are like, you know.
And that's the thing. It's like appointment viewing, where the biggest stars before social media, you didn't get to see them at all. And then,
That's how Michael Jackson was. In that era, like, you didn't see Mike. You're not seeing Mike. No, it was almost like a seeing a god when you seen Michael Jackson in that era. You know what I'm saying? So it made his legend even bigger. Like, you know what I'm saying? When you went to a show, it's because, oh, this is the only place I could see this. You know what I'm saying? And so even him going out on tour, like, that's the first time those people have got to, where every other artist, you can see him at so many different places and festivals and online and through their social media. And you see them every walk of life almost. With him, you kind of had to go to that concert to see him. And you haven't been able to see him nowhere else. And, you know what I mean? It brings a different kind of connection, I think.
absolutely. And you're smart, because it seems like he told you that he was gonna like do this once things got clear.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about a lot of the different things, but one of the things that he wanted to definitely do was to be able to get back on road and do a tour. I know he always was talking about that. And just to be seeing him doing everything he says is incredible. Like, I tip my hat to that young man, you dig? Like, and everything that he's overcame and shit like that. Like, you know, man, we all go through our shit, but and people see money, but they don't see a lot of things that people go through with the money. So, man, just to see that man smiling and doing his numbers and shit like that. And the kids seem to have a hero that they could grab onto. Like, that's what it used to be for us. We used to represent the superheroism of the world, you know what I mean? And kind of the superhero factor for rappers kind of got watered down through commercialism, like you say, everybody overexposure and shit like that. So it feels like that's something that the kids got again.
We talk about hype sneakers, but what do you think about, and we've been talking about kids, but what do you think about like the rise of ASICS or like Salomon and the parody kind of like in the market now? Where do you think that was a thing that was happening back in the day and now it's just on another level, or it really wasn't happening back in the day? You see like kids on recess in school and they're all in mesh runners and ASICS.
Oh, well, I think that mesh runners and back in the day, those type of run track sneakers were dope back in the day. That was a thing. And I think that so many basketball sneakers that are not fashionable enough to wear like we used to wear. It's kind of, and then you look at those sneakers that give you a nostalgic look to them, and it became fashionable. And then ASICS really came back about because of Balenciagas. Let's be clear.
I was about to say, I think designer
Balenciagas
sneakers
put
help.
that ASICS body on them big ass Balenciaga sneakers. Then the kids started realizing where it came from, and these ASICS is $130. Somebody was bold enough to do it, and other people was like, well, shit, me? Let's go.
Yeah. Another thing they do too is collabs. They do great collabs,
Yeah.
bro.
But
I feel like
it wasn't a collab though. Balenciaga is
In line.
I don't think it was just a one random person though. I think it was planned. I think because it is the way it just went from nothing to like everybody. It just was. It's just too fast. It was too. You know what I mean? It went from like I used to get ASICS from Ronnie from Kiss.
Yes.
And I would try to put them on my kids. And they would be like, what are those? They didn't want to wear them ever.
Ronnie didn't have the best body ASICs though. He wasn't doing the ones that's out
But
now.
even as a whole, my kids was open to them
Yeah.
from the wave that just came in. And when I was trying to, you know, like, yo, these is fire. They might have been a cool collab. You know, Ronnie been rocking with ASICS for a long time, but they wouldn't get with it. But once the wave came in, now they were like, oh yeah, I could wear some ASICS. I'm looking at them like,
You were up on these years ago.
and just the way they just would look at them when I was trying to even put them on them, or even that kind of style of sneaker. You know what I mean? Like not even just the ASICS, but if any kind of running shoe or anything that wasn't, you know, something that was cool. And I think it's, you know, generational too. What's popular in their time, you know what I mean? They're gonna want to rock. But I was trying to get them like, yo, these is fire. You know what I mean? Just they like, nah, we not wearing those.
They ain't been there yet. They like, bro, we don't even know what those. At least
They
we know
won't
what they
wear
was. We was
nothing
there
that ain't.
before.
And they like, if I give my son the Bo Jacksons, he's like, nah, what
Really?
is these?
You got going on.
What is these? Nah.
So my son is friends with a kid who's like a collector. He's like a hype beast. So he'll come to the crib, and my son will be like, yo, you want to see my dad's shoes and shit? Like he got some shit. Like I don't know what it is, but he got some shit. He'll open up. He'll be like, oh, yo, he got these. Yo, that's crazy. Yo, your pops got these 4 pair of these for your God. Bro, what the fuck? How do you, the Vivian Westwood ASIC collab? How do you get these? Like, da-da-da-da-da. All this shit. And now then they start asking, yo, what does your dad do? This, that, the third. But he, like now he's like going back and being like, all right, now what is these? Like these Adidas, South Park.
That cool factor. He know you got some cool shit going on.
Now he
Hold,
think-
dad might got some cool shit going
feel
on.
me?
Let me.
Before when it was just that, it was just like, yeah, get
Dog,
that shit
get
out
out
of
here.
here.
Yeah.
Now
That's the
hype beast is like-
influence. The other kids are influencing. You know what I'm saying? Like going back to what we was talking about with the ASICS. Once they seen everybody, now they cool all of a sudden. These just wasn't cool to you. The same shoe, same brand, it just wasn't cool. But
Last
once
year
it's in
she
their
was whack.
culture, yeah.
Dog.
Cozy.
That was the illest shit out.
Do you like that it's cyclical like that? Do you like that it's changing all the time? Obviously, we'll talk later about like how there's some models that have such great staying power, but do you like that the trends come and go and it's different?
I like it because
Yeah, I
it
like
gives me a different sneaker approach from just the average Nike and
And it
shit
has
niggas
to
doing.
even sometime when certain shit gets like oversaturated. There was like an era even like when the forces got oversaturated. You know, it was so many colors and it was just like the forces was, and then it came back. You know what I mean? So it's like you gotta sometimes let shit breathe for a minute and then, you know, bring it back.
I love that shit, bro, because fashion and being cyclical is great for me because I'm a hoarder, bro. So I got shit that I got jackets from 97 that's in perfect condition that might pop out with a re-release or retro or
It's
some shit.
definitely
I'm
coming
like,
back.
yeah,
You got some shit in '97. Yeah.
We talked earlier about New York being the kind of epicenter of sneaker culture, but like you had history with like Don C and John Monop, right? Like tell that story again. That I feel like not a lot of people know, like the Kanye crew coming to New York. We talked about Nelly, how like he had New York ties and maybe that's how Air Force Ones kind of came about. But talk about like that crew and what was happening when they were coming to New York.
Well, I met Don seeing them in like '97. But when they start coming to New York and getting with Rockefeller and Dame, they probably were, I would say they were responsible for the resurgence of the Jordan. Like they would come in and making sure they had the threes, they had retro 5s, retro 6s, when they didn't sell them nowhere. They was really outsourcing them. This is before Flight Club and everything and shit like that. And then slowly but surely, Jordans just started catching on fire out of nowhere and shit like that. But it was definitely after I seen them gentlemen purposely trying to find all the old sneakers, even if they were secondhand, they was buying them secondhand and shit just to. So that's my take on it. That's what I saw. Shit.
I feel like Kanye made the Jordan 1 cool. Jordan 1s weren't, back in the day, they weren't as cool as they became.
It wasn't.
Like people wasn't going to get one.
It was
the twos and up.
People wasn't getting the, you know what I mean? When they first came out in 85 or something like that, they probably was cool. But I'm saying like in the 90s and all that, like Jordan 1s weren't like a sneaker that everybody
When Jordan
ran to
was
get.
still active, it was what sneakers he dropping? Is it the 4s, the 5s, the
1s
6s?
and 3s, and from that point on, they can't, like, you know what I mean? Because even the Jordan 2s for a while didn't come back for a minute
Jordan
either.
1s was kind of slim, niggas. They was like, it was real old.
It was like a
school
basic,
looking.
it was almost like a Nike Converse.
Converse, word to mother.
So like it wasn't cool yet. And then
Jerry West shoe.
Ye found a way because of the, Ye is able to take sometimes like simple things and like hit it so that it looks cool to be simple. You know what I'm saying? Like it would like, he would just take the Bread Jordan and wear it with a fur and then like, you know what I mean? It was some way he was able to catch it and do that. And then I think that's when the Jordan 1s became, you know what I mean? Like people started really paying attention to them because even to me, Jordan brand wasn't even reproduce. Like you look at how Jordan 1s is now, there's every color, collabs, like they weren't doing anything with the ones at that time.
And especially like the past few years, there were so many, you couldn't, it was like one model where like they were naming, oh, the Jordan 1 blanks. And I couldn't even keep track because there were so many Jordan 1s like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, it was a hot commodity. The highs, Joe.
Now it might be one of the, and now it might be the strongest J out of them to me. As far as like between the Travis, the Virgil.
Yeah.
Them collabs put the ones kind of like at the top of the most seeked out Jordans.
Oh, them UNC ones?
Yeah. Those used to get the ones, a few years ago, niggas had hurt themselves for a pair of ones.
Really? How do you feel about like Air Max 95's huge year and like general releases and not even hyped ones, just like models that were so popular when we were coming up, the staying power of them, and again, like GRs, not hype, crazy shoes. How do you...
Neon green joints, I feel like you got to get a pair of them almost every summer or every other summer. Like them, they just like a classic.
Yep.
I think the way, I don't know who came with that colorway of, and just, cause I don't even remember a sneaker having that colorway of the grays and the, like I've had so many pair of them from when I was in a teenager.
That was like the first
fly
sneaker. Like that shit just was different.
Girls had them, like the girls used to, like New York City girls used to love those shoes. Like it was crazy. My hood was crazy with those shoes, man.
And it was one of the most like expensive like shoes. And I think like a lot of kind of like dope boys wanted them because they were more expensive than the Jordans when they came out.
I think it was one of the first shoes that had that air bubbles, like, you know, around the whole shoe like that. It was a crazy.
That was the first shoe with the air bubble around the whole shoe, right? Through the whole shoe.
The Air Max 1 had it on the side, but it ain't. A lot of them didn't have that. You know,
because they started from up there.
That shoe is goated to me, especially that gray,
that color scheme.
Yeah, that color.
And for the younger generation, man, like I swore they like the underclassmen under me was like, yo, these shits make me run faster. I could jump higher. Yeah, I could definitely jump higher with these shits broke as the bubble.
Niggas just think
That's what
going crazy.
Like,
but it's like little
thing. It was like just do it, but it make you feel like you could
jump over moon. Like, yo, let me get these air bubbles and dunk on you right quick.
Like if you pumped your Reeboks up and you could jump higher, that was like they used to really market that. You know what I'm saying?
The other shoe that like is big now again, and I feel like this technology is kind of polarizing, but the Shox and the marketing campaign. Is it crazy to see like these back with like, there's all collabs, but also these GR models people are wearing like, and the movement that they have?
Yeah, I like them. I like the OG. I think it's a cool. Cool
we ran the Boeings to the ground in Harlem. That's definitely Harlem uniform right there.
And it was a thing where like people, the marketing, you thought that it can make you jump higher,
Well,
like you just said. jump higher and run
Those are
faster.
The next elevation
I
of
was
the
out of
elbow.
sports when they made Boeings. We just was hustling to look fly, shit like that. I was out the game with that. We was.
You could get away from the DTs.
Nike
and
also couldn't kind of miss at one point. Like all of them shits.
Didn't
We
matter
just talking
what
about the
you
Air
brought.
Max, the Boeings.
See, because that was the era when
just
every
like,
sneaker you could
everything
wear
was
with your
just hitting.
jeans. You can't really wear too many sneakers with the jeans no more. Like you can't wear no John Morant's. Like you could play basketball, put the basketball clothes on, but you can't get. They don't even hit the jeans right, like how the old school sneakers. Yeah, like it's crazy.
It was crazy how Jordans hit with jeans, and they was always a basketball shoe too. It
They-
never
they
was
was-
designed to be a lifestyle.
I think he
sneaker.
designed them shits with jeans on. Like yo, this design my shit with the jeans on, and I wear them on the court.
Stay with a
'cause
wide leg jean on.
His shit stayed perfect for every pair of Jordans was perfect for the jean. Stop playing with them.
Have you think we've seen another line like that ever where they
I
went
don't know if you're gonna be able to see it again. Jordans came out in '85.
crazy?
Bro. That's 40 years of sneakers, bro.
A fire.
I don't know if another sneaker can
Gonna
do
have
a
another
40-year
run like that. Nah, not a fire. Ain't not to
40
mention he like on
years?
Jordan number
My kids
89
know
right
Jordans,
now.
and they've never
He's still
seen
making
Jordan
new
play
numbers, though.
basketball. They wear and know Jordans, but they've never seen Michael Jordan physically play basketball.
Put it like this: they kept making new Jordan models after he stopped hooping.
Yeah, he's a Jordan number 89 right now. I just sat there like, yo, fuck.
I don't know
like,
what
what?
number. I might have stopped after a certain number, so I don't know
Hey,
what
I'm
number.
right there with
Definitely
you,
had to
Jim,
stop at like 13. You really couldn't go too past 13.
That was a big debate though. That was
I
a
you
went,
went? Where
I
you
went
went?
to like, what number was the joints that had the little strap around
came with
it?
the- that came with
16s
the
maybe, the
suitcase?
shroud.
The spats.
The ones that came with the suitcase?
That was the
That's the
17s.
last ones I
Nah,
bought.
it was some like ankle
20, the 20s.
Jordan. This is so
It was the 20s. The 20s, it was like a detached.
It's 20.
23
But
was, yeah, you're right.
in between there, you might have skipped
Yeah, but what was the one with the briefcase? They came in the red and white, the
17s.
17s?
17s.
Yeah.
I had, that was my last pair.
The first
17s hit
$200 Jordan.
The
Was it
17s?
17?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a
17
fire-ass
was fire.
briefcase.
17s
I had a
was
few
fire.
pair of
My
those.
last shit was the shit with the. They marketed them as like, yo, this is like a formal shoe. You could flip. It had like a
It
attachment.
had like
Maybe
a
the
tuxedo,
16.
cummerbund top
Yeah,
over
yeah,
the front and all that.
yeah, over the
16.
laces.
That was the 16, yeah.
Yeah. I was like, all right, I'm out after this. Now y'all making space boots.
I hung on for a little bit longer. To that 20, after that, I was like, yeah.
You seen the shits that have the cover on it that look like a wetsuit? Like, it looked like a scuba suit? The shit go like up to here?
Nah.
Crazy work, bro. I was like, yo, what they doing over there?
You've been around the industry and you've seen sneaker deals. What are some of the best sneaker deals that you've seen in history? Just like artists getting sneaker deals.
I would say Travis Scott looks like, I don't know his business, but he looks like he got one of the dopest sneaker deals I ever seen.
Yeah.
You mean artists too?
Yeah, like even coming up and like,
I would say Ye.
yeah.
Yeah, Ye definitely got the
Ye
king of
really
that shit.
designed a whole nother shoe. Travis's shoe is really dope, but it's actually like, you know, a Jordan 1 silhouette. I think Ye's Nike sneaker that first, them shoes, them Nikes that he did is still like, those are like goated shoes. Like kids probably never even like, yeah, they don't even understand like, wait, what, like that was a whole new shoe. They were like future. That high top one looks like a Back to the Future Marty McFly.
You could tell that was his inspiration.
Like for real, it was a completely different whole silhouette. The colorways, the all red, the black one with the neon sole,
That was fire. The black one with the glow in the dark.
glow in the dark sole, not neon.
Crazy.
Glow in the dark. Like those are you know what I mean. So I would say Ye's thing, and then what he was even able to do with Adidas
Yeah.
as well.
And they create his own.
Then
type
created
of
his own
sneaker.
shoes and
Yes.
And then the Louis shit too. He had a Louis.
Louis League
Yep.
is fire.
These.
that was a whole new silhouette at the time as well.
So yeah, I think Ye definitely from like A to Z, like designing,
Artists, yeah.
artistry, like the whole process. Like I fuck with the Travis shit, but again, it's like it's a silhouette that's already there. You got
It's
something
two,
to work
it's
from.
two different things because Ye created his shit, even though, but I was saying Travis because of out of everybody, he seems to connect the most with his sneakers and the kids and shit like
They
that.
move quickly.
Yeah.
Bro, I be seeing grown finance dudes, bro. Like I be coaching football, seeing dudes that work for like Merrill Lynch and like some Travis Scott ones, and I'm like, Like, oh, my son.
What do you
my
think?
son got me.
Whose hype was bigger when those shoes?
Kanye or Travis?
Yeah.
I still think Kanye,
Kanye, of course.
the Yeezys was like,
Remember when he was doing the Pablo merch with the sneaker and
yes,
shit like that?
Yeah. And the Pablo merch was crazy too.
I also think they was a little more limited or harder to get, especially those Nike Kanye.
Oh, the Nike ones, you definitely. I never even had one pair of the Nike ones.
Really?
You know what's crazy? I threw my black pair away. The high top
The ones or
ones.
twos?
The high top ones is the first ones, right?
Yes. With the glow.
I think I gave them away or something like that. I still got the gray and that tan color one.
Mm-hmm.
But for some, like it got too dirty or something was,
Damn.
and I kind of like gave it away.
Wasn't
And
even thinking
now
about
I look
it.
back, I'm like,
Damn, you just
especially
spent
now you could
40
have cleaned it
grand.
and brought it back to.
Yes.
You could bring shoes back to
Yeah.
brand new now. So I thought about, I'm
they got
like,
the niggas that refurbish them shits like furniture right now.
Yes.
What?
You could take the soles off and like, I got
give
my
you-
a shoe resold. It's crazy. Before we wrap up, where do you see like sneaker culture going and how much do you love it compared to like different generations? Like for me, I still see sneakers and I'm still super, super into it. Obviously, it's a lot what I do, but like how into it are you?
trying to get out of it, but I can't.
Really?
Like I'm running out of space. It's like when you know how bad it has to be for you to feel like, yo, this is taking up too much space in my life.
Yes.
That's when it gets like, so for me, I still love it, but I'm trying to like scale. That's why I just said I'm trying to like keep what's the keepers.
Yes.
Everything is not a keeper. I'm telling myself everything is not a keeper. Some shit you wear and get rid of, donated, just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Some stuff I get a lot of shoes sent to me too. And I think even there, like it might be a shoe, you might have stocked it up and never, I've had shoes that I've had for years that you haven't never wore. So like even there, like if you're not gonna use it, maybe this could help somebody else needs a new pair of shoes. You know what I mean? But I do like the sneaker culture. I love where it's going. Like even today I'm wearing Kyrie's shoes.
Yes.
I like, I feel like sneaker culture too has opened the door to designers to make shoes out. He said like you could meet a designer, he got his own shoe. If they dope, you're gonna wear them. You know what I'm saying? I like what Kyrie did, where he had a sneaker and, whatever his situation was, where he went and now started his own sneaker line.
Indie on them niggas.
So
Independent, yeah.
nasty.
like an indie sneaker basically.
It's a nasty habit though, like crack. Can't get away from it.
There's two things
did?
I can't stop doing. It's graffiti and sneakers.
Okay.
But I got 3 boys, so they growing and they think that they're gonna get.
See, but I thought that when my son, I told him he sold all the sneakers. He sold like 2 storage bins worth of
Okay.
sneakers and shit. But I just built a sneaker store inside of my compound, so to show you how much of a fiend I am. You heard? Like I'm acting like it's a business, but it's really like. You heard? Like, I feel
Stay
like
tied to you.
yeah,
wanna
like
stay
I got my
connected.
own sneaker store there. I'm just gonna put shit on when I want to.
Let me go check my shit real quick. Let me see what we gonna do with the Pele today. Let me
Word,
see.
shit like
Sneakily
that.
keeping yourself connected to it.
I will say this though, that the way that we buy sneakers, like I feel like everybody here, the experience is different because now, if my kids, like if my son's like, yo, Pop, I want the black Cat 4s.
Yeah.
I'm like, back in the day, it was like, yo, they gone. They
Yes.
came and they went, bro.
Yes,
That's
they
it.
get 'em.
Now they're
Nah,
still like
bro,
they
come
be-
on.
they be saying,
StockX,
yeah.
Go,
Yeah.
whatever the fuck.
they got more option now.
You could go online and get anything, bro, for a price.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because now I got my sons being like,
Quick
yo, I need the
question,
Kobe
quick question
Bryant's.
for all y'all. Are
Yes.
y'all, I never was much of this, but are y'all like double and triple? Like if you see a shoe that you like, will you buy 2 or 3 pair of them or 2, 3 pair?
I just brought 4 pair of the pink 5s.
Really?
Just we got the other day. I brought 4 pair of them shits, bro.
I always just get 1 pair and kind of just move on. If I need them again, then
I'm a uniform type of guy, so
Yeah.
it's like everything I'm like. That's how my brain works. Everything I get, I gotta get like 2, 3 pairs, so I can be like, I got my uniform together. I know what I got some go-tos and shit like that.
I have a very weird thing where I keep a small rotation and I buy multiple pairs of the shoes I really love. The problem is I don't go to the second pair soon enough.
Right.
Usually you buy 2 or 3 to go to the
You
Chris
never
pair.
get to the second pair.
I never get to the
You're trying to
second
not
pair.
even get to
100%.
You
I'm
just
like,
trying
it's
to
holding
keep it,
on.
yeah.
It's
Now
holding
just
on. It's-
stocking, it becomes now that's the space thing we talking
Exactly.
That's what I did with
That's
the
why I
Tiffany's.
don't buy
Yeah.
a lot of 1 pair of shoes. because I don't really want to stock shoes in that same space. I already have too many shoes.
You're precious about it, and I'm like, oh, I'll have another one on deck, and then I'm like, this first pair's still holding on, but it
Still
really,
clean?
you're defeating the purpose of what you're trying to do.
Right.
But Jordans is the only sneaker that I might wear twice
Okay.
or 3 times. I wear all brand new sneakers, but you know, sometimes them OG Jordans, you gotta kind of space them out if you got a couple pairs. So you
Well,
like,
fit
yo,
a hit with it. You got to bring
Yep.
them joints that
Yeah.
That's what it
colorways
is,
just to
yeah.
catch it. You know what I mean? It
You
hit.
could have won a shoe 2 or 3 times, but then like some fashion shit will pop out. You know what I mean? And it hit with the fit, and it's just like, all right, we're bringing it back out the.
and for some reason, it feel like when after you wear your Jordans and you put them back in the box and do what them just come right back brand new when you take them out. Like, this shit's feeling like I just bought these
It's
again.
the same shit. nigga.
Jordan got some shit going on, yo.
These niggas spray new cars for them. It's just like every time in the paper. Like, oh, okay.
There is a lot of shoes though that I'm storing that I've wore one time and I may not ever wear them.
Really? Give me one.
Just random shoes that somebody might send you, or like
Yeah.
you know, not like your typical like you went and bought them or something like that, or you know what I mean? Like I get a shoe and it might be a Puma or like you know what I mean, but I'll still hold on to it because I'm in my head as a sneaker wearer. Like I
She's a
may need
sneaker
these
hoarder,
ones.
bro. And you think about fits like this is gonna be good for a fit about
Eventually.
2 years. I'm gonna hit this
Word.
off. Like, bro, what? This
Seen a
is
shirt,
bad.
I'm like,
Yo,
damn,
did
I
you see
had
the
these
Dior
shoes
fall
7
winter?
years and I only wore them one
This shit's
time.
gonna hit with all.
Yeah.
This crazy. Like people will look at you like you're crazy. They're not sneaker people.
Yes.
You wouldn't
And
understand.
they be like, you had this sneaker for 8 years and you only wore it one
Crazy.
time?
But it be like that.
Yeah. be
Listen,
like
it got us here though, right?
You feel me? Like,
All right, everyone, this has been the first episode of the new JD Sports podcast. We're going city to city, but what better way to kick it off than this crew in New York City? Thank you guys so much.